Hello everyone and welcome back to MixbusTV Mixing and Mastering Tutorials on YouTube. I'm your host David, and if you follow the channel you already know UVI Plugins asked me to design a preset collection for their great delay relayer. The presets are included in the new upgraded version, and in this video I want to show you guys not only how I use the presets and what they were meant for, but this will hopefully give you some cool ideas for delay tricks regardless if you use relayer or not. We will not do a walkthrough of the plugin itself because let's leave the boring shit to other channels, right? Kidding of course, but yeah. What I want to do here is to show you the presets, because what I've done with them is I made many, quote, utility ones that you can use right off the bat for basic cool effects, even without changing anything. With these, I really wanted to give you things that work on many different situations and sources, for them to be as, quote, universal, so to speak, as possible, hence utility ones. And then I made some other a bit more specific, crazy sounding and interesting, and these are meant to be fed specific things. Some of them require the right gain staging, and in general I thought it was a good idea to show you how I meant them to be used and how I personally use them. But despite them being meant for specific tasks, you will find that even when you apply them in completely different scenarios and different sources, well, they sound cool as fuck. Let me be honest here. That's what happened to me while I was designing them. I tried them on different things and they were even cooler than what they were meant for. Few words on the relayer. This delay needs no presentation really. The things it can do are pretty unique. One of the features I like the most is the complete control you have over each and every repeat. Not only you can change the timing of each individual repeat, I don't know any other delay that can do this, but filters, panning, modulation, built-in reverbs, room and devices simulators. You know how much I love to design completely custom delays for my mixes, for all my mixes, and this is the perfect tool for me. And yet if I need a simple delay, the GUI is big, clean, and easy to use. So yeah, it's a pretty badass delay. And as the title say, UVI gave me 3 licenses to give away to 3 lucky MixbusTV subscribers. So check out UVI Facebook page and give them a like, and check out MixbusTV Facebook page to know how to win the UVI Relayer plugin. But enough with this stuff, let's get to the presets. Like I said, even if you don't use Relayer, many of these cool tricks you can replicate somehow. Here we go. We have some stereo presets and some mono presets. I want to start showing you the ones that were meant for vocals, because they are the more simple and more universal, so to speak. I designed them to work on pretty much any vocals, either solo or combined. Let's hear the dry vocal.
All at once you are alone. Ooh.
And the first preset is a stereo one. It's called Wet Stereo Vocal Space. And it has a little modulation and a little bit of room sound to the delays. Let's hear it with the vocal.
All at once you are alone. Ooh.
You just adjust the level on this one.
Like a tiger in a cage. Ooh. And everything you do is good for nothing.
So it adds this ambient around the vocals without being too reverberary. And pretty similar is the mono one.
All at once you are alone.
Again, adjust the level.
Ooh. Like a tiger in a cage.
This one too has a little modulation and some diffusion, but has no room algorithm, and it's pretty dry. It's meant to give the vocal a little bit of depth without being reverberary at all. You can combine these two.
All at once you are alone. Ooh.
They work well together.
Like a tiger in a cage.
So these were pretty simple. Let's see the next one. Like I said, I'm not going in the order that the presets will show up. I just want to take a look at the vocals one first. The vocal stutter throw, you adjust the timing on this one here to decide the rhythm of the stutter, but it's a throw, so you usually feed one word to this.
All at once you are
Is intended for more electronic EDM style. You can try it on snares too. It works well, but it's meant to be fed one last word at the end of a phrase. Okay, it has a weird panning and it has some modulation both here and in the FX1 panel, some ambient and diffusion. So again, adjust the timing. The characteristic of this one, as you can see from the time tab, is that the timing of the repeats are different. So you create this stutter. If you change the timing to really fast, you really have a stutter effect. Okay, so it's a throw. It's an effecty kind of throw. And then we have a second one, which is similar, but it has a different timing, different panning, you can see, and different filter. And again, it's another throw, so you should feed one word to this one. And again, change the time knob to make the stutter as close as you want. Okay, so is another throw, stuttery throw. Let's see what we have then. Vocal reverse reverb. This is really nice. It's one of my favorite. It's a slap back kind of delay with a reverse reverb. It comes out at the end of the phrase.
Hold it once you are alone. Ooh.
For this one, I used just one repeat, as you can see, some modulation, diffusion. The trick is here in the color panel. I use the reverse algorithm. Filters and nothing else really. And it's really cool.
Hold it once you are alone. Ooh.
It has this slapbacky reverse reverb effect. It's, again, it should work on pretty much any vocals. Vocal doubler is the next. It's a simple vocal doubler, so it's a 100% utility one and doesn't have anything special. But yeah, it works when you need a doubler. You just open this one up and you're good to go.
Hold it once you are alone.
Adjust the level.
Ooh. Like a tiger in a cage.
Without it.
Ooh. And everything you do is good for nothing.
It has no reverb. The color is set to tape too, so it's just really a color, not one of the room or device algorithm. And it's really dry, so you can have space around the vocals without any kind of reverb. It works really well, especially for hip-hop, for example.
Hold it once you are alone.
Okay, very simple, utility one again, but it works well. I'm going pretty fast describing the vocal presets because there's not really much to say. They are fairly simple. They just work, which is nice, I hope. Let's see the next one, which is, stereo vocal ambience. So this is similar to the stereo vocal space. It just doesn't really have the reverby part. Let's hear it.
Hold it once you are alone.
It's very radio-y.
Ooh. Like a tiger in a cage.
It has a different vibe from the wet stereo vocal space. I would say the stereo vocal space, you can use it by itself. This other one, the vocal ambience, you might want to mix it up with either the mono preset or a reverb.
Hold it once you are alone.
See, the stereo
Ooh.
wet.
Like a tiger in a cage.
It has more obvious delay and a little bit of room sound. The stereo vocal ambience is ambience.
Hold it once you are alone.
It's drier.
Ooh.
And it's closer to you. And again, not much to say. These were pretty much the utility ones that you can tuck underneath the vocal to give it some space without, you know, using reverb and without the effect being too noticeable. The next one is the Snare Riser presets. This is a specific one. It was meant for electronic snare like 808 or 909. And you have one hit of snare, that's it. You send it to this one and you have this effect. Let's turn the level up. So it's a simple riser. You can see the timing. You have panning that opens up. It starts from the center-ish and it pans wide, and it has a little bit of this 48 gold hull that I really love on this delay. Let's see if we have another one. I think we have yeah, an 808 snare riser. The other one you can use, the other snare riser you can use on acoustic drum too, but this one was specifically thought for electronic music. Okay, similar to the other one, but it has this really tight repeats at the end. It has a little less modulation, and modulation doesn't have the V shape, and yeah, it opens up. It starts darker and it goes brighter as it goes. And again, it's just one snare hit. All you have to do is send one snare hit to this. Already done for you. So I hope you like it. The next one is called Add Rhythmic Texture, and as the name suggests, it does exactly that. You can work on acoustic guitars, drums, loops, and let me show you. We have a drum first. I was dry, and this is with the Add Rhythmic Texture preset. The way I thought about this is you can automate the level. Okay, it doesn't just work on drums, it can work on acoustic guitar too, as I said. It's a dry. It adds a little bit of ambient, a little bit of texturized ambient to whatever source you want. You can try it on loops as well. The next one, I called it Alien Call, and is a throw delay. It's meant for vocals, but you can really send whatever you want. It's just one throw delay. It was meant to be one note or one vowel or one word. That's how I intended it. It's very long. It's got a lot of effects. You can see the comp filtering. It has the B quad, and the panning is widening as the repeats fade out. And it's got a lot of modulation, a lot of ambient, and you can see the repeat level goes up. So this is how it sounds. Dry vocal first.
If I don't take you home.
And this would be with the throw.
If I don't take you home.
You can see the modulation panel here. The repeats move a lot. I don't know, I like it, it's very cool. The next one is one of my favorite. It was meant for loops, really. And it's called Alien Eyes. But this one is one of those that you can try on anything, like acoustic guitars or whatever you want, some vocals. But it was meant for loops. So let me start a loop. This is dry. And this was sent to Alien Eyes preset. think it's pretty cool. So it does what it says, pretty much alien eyes, loops. That was what I meant it for. It has a lot of modulation, as you can see, a lot of different effects. One thing that you have to pay attention with this one is the level you feed the delay, because you have on FX2 tab, it has a wave shaper. So this is a distortion that is program dependent, meaning if you send too hot of a level, it will distort too much. Let me show you. Let me start the loop again. FX2 tab. You see it has an input and output. If I do this, it distorts too much. So I don't remember where the preset was, but see, if you send too much level to it, to the delay, it has too much distortion. So pay attention with this preset to your gain staging. The next preset is another utility one, and is a bass room. It's very simple, and this is the bass dry. This is with the relayer. Without. Okay, has this nice real space kind of feeling to the bass. The filters are tailored specifically for bass. It has no strange heavily modulated effects, because we don't want to mess with phase on bass. It has just a little bit of modulation, sort of a chorusy kind of sound, but like I said, the filters are tailored for bass, and it has this talky color filter that it makes it sit behind the bass in a nice way. Okay, you just adjust the level, and you don't have to pay attention to anything, gain staging or anything. This is pretty simple utility preset. The next preset is called Big Piano, and it was intended for piano. So let's hear the piano dry. And let's hear it with Relayer. Okay, it was meant not much for acoustic piano, for an acoustic piano like this, more for electronic EDM kind of piano. You can hear it has a lot of modulation on it, and it has this reverby sound to each repeat. So pay attention to that, because with piano, with acoustic piano specifically, too much modulation can cause problems, can sound weird. So this was, again, more meant for electronic EDM style pianos. But, you know, you can use it on many things. The next two are something that I use in my mixes quite often. Is a coming from left and coming from right rising delays. It was meant for vocals, but really you can use it for guitars, you can use it for a lot of things. Let's hear the coming from left preset.
All at once you are alone.
And it's called coming from left because, as you can see from the pan tab, the repeats start from the far left and they go towards the center. So
all at once you are alone.
Okay, that's just a little bit of modulation. It's very dry, so you can add reverb, you can add color if you want from here. The filters are set in a way so that the delay seems far away from the dry source. The coming from right is the same, but it comes from right.
All at once you are alone.
Okay, it has an interesting effect. Again, two utility ones, but if you use something like this, you don't have to program it yourself. You have the presets ready to go. The next one is another interesting preset. It's called Dirty Drum Ambience. As you can imagine, I meant it for drums, for acoustic drums, actually. It's just a nice way to use a delay. And the relayer is not really just a delay. I mean, aside from all the modulation, it has this really nice section of rooms and devices for actual reverbs that work really well. On this one, I use the KSP Vice Room to create this dirty drum ambience. Let's hear the drum solo. And this is with the Relayer preset. Again, in the FX1 tab, the wave shaper, this is what gives us the dirt. So pay attention to what level you're sending the drum to this preset, because again, depending on how hot you hit the relayer, the distortion changes. You can see I turned down the input in the preset, so I'm showing you how I intended it to sound. Okay, dirty but not destroyed, not this. Although you can use it in that way as well, I intended it to be more universal, so just a little bit of dirt, okay? And it creates this nice space around the drum. Just the level, it can be as subtle or as obvious as you want. The next preset is called Dragging Filter. It is meant to be a throw delay, so a one hit. You feed one word, one vowel, one snare hit, something like that, and one guitar note. And the characteristic is, as you can see from the repeat time tab, the timing, it goes slower and slower, so it drags. And the other characteristic is the panning, but again, on this one, aside from the FX1 filter, you have the FX2, which is the wave shaper again. So pay attention to the level you're sending your signal to this effect. Let's hear it.
Hold it once you're alone.
You can hear the repeats get slower and slower, so it drags. And it has this filter, which is both the wave shaper and the vowel. And the master filters are engaged. You can see the settings and you have the presets. But yeah, this is what it meant to be a throw delay that drags and it filters. The next one is called Edgy Guitar. Not much to say about this one, as you can imagine, is another utility one, but it's pretty useful when you want to give a mono guitar some sort of kind of space and an obvious delay without it being too cloudy or to take too much space. Let's hear the guitar solo. Let's hear it with the preset. Okay, it has this kind of stadium-like feel, but it doesn't stomp on the dry guitar, as you can see. It just fills the spaces. And I meant it for phrases like this, more like second guitars, kind of melodies, but you can try it on anything you want, of course. It works well on many things. The next two presets, I designed them for myself, because this is something I always need in my mixes. So I need just a simple delay that gets brighter every repeat or darker every repeat. So let's hear them.
Hold it once you're alone.
You can see this FX1 tab. It has a filter and low pass filter, and it starts dark and it goes brighter.
Hold it once you're alone.
Okay? pan 2, it starts 50% wide, it goes wider towards the end, and in the center for the last repeats. I thought it was a pretty interesting panning pattern. You have a wave shaper here too, so again, pay attention to the level you send to these effects. It's not meant to be distorted, just a tiny bit dirty, so keep the level low or pay attention anyway to what level you send to it. The every repeat darker is the same, it just, you can see the FX1 tab goes the other way around. It starts bright and the repeats get darker and darker. Let's hear it.
Hold it once you are alone.
And you can adjust the time on both of them easily from this knob. You can adjust the feedback if it's too long. Overall changes to make them fit to a song should take 1 second, so it's pretty easy. But these are 2 utility ones that I personally use all the time. For the next preset, I guess the name says it all. It's called Fuck Up Your Loop, and that's exactly what it does. Let's hear a loop by itself. Send it to this bad boy, and this is what you get. So yeah, it has again the wave shaper effects on the FX tab 2, so pay attention to the level you send to it, and that's pretty much it. I mean, this is exactly what it says. The title says, it fucks up your loop. You have this ambient color here, the 2050 playing room. If you want the effect to be drier, just remove it. It changes a lot just with this mod. This is without. This is the dry loop. And this is with the color. So whether you want it ambient-y and spacey or you want it really dry, you just click on this color button here and it changes the vibe completely. The next one is called Feed Me a Vowel. And that's a very specific kind of delay. I intended it to be used on vocals and specifically for when you want a stutter kind of effect on a vowel. So what you do is, you see here, you send just, a syllable, just a vowel, just one specific word if you want to this preset. Let's hear it.
If I don't take you home.
Okay, so it has this stutter effect that pans from left to right.
If I don't take you home.
I was thinking rap vocal mostly when you have, one word that you want to accentuate.
If I don't take you home.
Okay, it has no modulation, nothing to pay attention to gain staging wise, just feed one vocals, one word to it, and you have a cool effect.
If I don't take you home.
You can hear the panning, it moves really nicely. The next preset is called Indie Slap, and it was intended to be used on vocals as well. What I was going for here was that kind of Jack Whitey megaphone distorted kind of slapback effect on vocals. So here how it sounds.
But keep the faith and carry on and leave your worries in a room. So close your eyes, just listen to your heart.
Okay, it has this home phone color on that makes it so radio-y, and you have a wave shaper so you can adjust the distortion. It's pretty simple, it has very little modulation. It's all about the filters, the distortions, and the home phone color. But yeah, you can change the timing to fit the pattern of the words if you need to. But yeah, this is what it's meant to be, a vocal slap distorted kind of effect.
But keep the faith and carry on and leave your worries in a room. So close your eyes, just listen to your heart.
The next preset is called Levy's Break Snare. It's not exactly the Levy's Break tape echo effect. It's a little longer, it's a little wider, but it's meant for snare and was inspired by that. So that's how I call it. But I was thinking more of automating the level of it on snare rolls and snare fills. So this is how it sounds. So this movement is what I was thinking about, automating the level when you have a snare roll, when you have a fill with the drum that you want to accentuate. I do often on rock mixes tuck in a snare delay on verses or bridges when I want to change something in a subtle way. Usually this kind of delay is never that high in level in the mix. You can't really tell there's a delay. It's just another texture added. Something changes, but the listener doesn't really pick the delay up. So I hope it's gonna be useful. The next preset is called Lightly Modulated. I didn't intend this one to be used on anything specific. It could be a vocal, could be a guitar, could be a synth, could be a stab. It's a throw delay. And what I wanted from this one was this pan movement that you can see here in the pan tab. And modulation. Simple, useful when you need a throw delay that has a specific color, it has modulation on this tab here, and this is how it sounds.
In a room, so close your eyes, just listen to your heart.
It's fairly simple, nothing crazy, but it's a utility one. The panning movement, it's nice. And take a look at this. If you're not familiar with Relayer, you can shift the panning the other way around.
In a room, so close your eyes, just listen to your heart.
Adjust this mode here. I mean, I'm not reviewing Relayer here, but really guys, check it out because it's so fucking awesome, this delay, the things that you can do. So yeah, check it out.
In a room, so close your eyes, just listen to your heart.
I have so much fun with this delay. The last preset in this long video, I called it Loop in a Cave. What I was thinking of was electronic texture loops. So EDM, slow BPM kind of loops. And what I wanted was an ambient. And I wanted to create a delay that was giving me a sense of a really big space, really far away. And this is how it sounds. Without. With. It's phasey, it's filtered, it has a lot of modulation. You don't have to pay attention to gain staging here. We have no distortion. And yeah, is the modulation moves, the timing of the repeat is all different, you can see. So I thought it was really interesting. Let's try another loop for this one, how it sounds. Turn the volume up a bit. Without. With. So you can try it on faster loops as well. Does add texture, and one thing that I would say is tailor your filters to where it fits the track if you use this preset. I left a pretty hefty amount of bottom end. I cut it at 110, but if you need something a little thinner, you know, just mess with the filters and you're ready to go. So I really hope you liked these presets, guys. And so these were MixbusTV Signature Presets for UVI Relayer Delay explained. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and I hope you will find the presets useful. As usual, experiment with them. I showed you what they were meant for, but again, they work in many different scenarios and different sources. I'm sure some of you will find even cooler applications that they were meant for, and when you do, please let me know. Write it in the comment down below or on MixbusTV Facebook page. What else? I want to thank UVI Plugins for this opportunity and for giving me free licenses for you guys. I think that's a wrap. This is it for this video. If you liked it, please leave a comment down below and don't forget to hit the like button. Your support is vital for the channel. Join us on Facebook and Twitter to stay in touch with us and get all the news about the channel, upcoming videos and series, and access to exclusive content. Please keep supporting MixbusTV by sharing the videos and spreading the word on blogs, forums, social media. Subscribe if you haven't already, and see you next time.